guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a Valentine's Day makeup tutorial, but instead of going really glam, I wanted to go extremely natural. I know that not everyone out there is comfortable wearing a full face of makeup with so many products, something so heavy. A lot of people do like something more lightweight, especially if you are dating someone or you're with someone that isn't the biggest fan of a lot of makeup on the face, but they prefer more of a natural beauty or natural look, and you want to go ahead and wear something that they will like for Valentine's Day. I don't know. So I wanted to do something a little bit more natural for those of you that are looking for a more natural look. This look is also as kiss-proof as possible. We're not using foundation as a base today. We're just going in with concealer, so you don't have to worry about anything on your face kind of shifting or moving or being rubbed off. Also, I showed you guys a couple of lip options if you guys wanted to go with something that has absolutely no color, or if you wanted to use something that's a little bit more natural looking and is easy to wipe off if needed. I like this look because I have had a couple of awkward moments in my life where I went to go hug somebody that's wearing either a dark colored shirt or a white shirt, and my makeup kind of accidentally transferred onto it. And I didn't know what to do with myself. I just kind of pretended like it wasn't me and I walked away quickly. But this makeup look is great because we put most of the product kind of on the top half of our face and not the bottom. So if you accidentally like bump someone, nothing is gonna wipe off, if you get what I'm saying. Also, if you don't have plans for Valentine's Day, don't feel bad. I don't have plans for Valentine's Day either. And even when I did have a boyfriend, I didn't really do anything for Valentine's Day either. I did the first year, but Valentine's Day is just not my holiday. I feel like everything is so forced and it's all fake because you're forced to kind of show your love for that person instead of just showing your love for that person every day. So I'm just not the biggest fan of Valentine's Day, but that's just me personally. So I think that that's all I have to say. I'm kind of off of my A game right now. I can't really think of how to speak or what I wanted to say, so this is just gonna have to do. If you guys are curious to see how I got this super natural Valentine's Day makeup that is kiss-proof, then just keep watching. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to go ahead and do is prime my skin. So since this is going to be more of a natural look, I'm not going to be using any foundation. I'm just going to be using concealer in the areas that I need it, but I want to make sure that my base looks pretty matte. I kind of want to only put the highlight in places that I want to look highlighted. So I'm going to go ahead and use a mattifying base. Now I have two here. I have the Makeup Forever mattifying primer, or I have the Cover FX mattifying primer. But you guys could use whatever mattifying primer that you have in your collection. I also have the NYX Angel Veil, but that one is a little bit too mattifying. So I am going to go ahead and use the Cover FX one today. The thing I like about the Cover FX one is that not only is it a mattifying primer, but it also has salicylic acid in it to help fight breakouts. And then just to be a little bit extra matte just in my T-zone where I get oily, I'm going to use the Makeup Forever. Now for concealer, I'm going to be using my Bobbi Brown Corrector first, and this is in the shade Light Peach. They have a bunch of different color versions of the peach corrector to match your skin tone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up a little bit of that on my Morphe M436 brush, and this is my favorite brush to use with this particular corrector. And I just put a little bit on the ends of the bristles, and I'm going to go ahead and I am going to start putting that just underneath my eye area because I have a lot of darkness, and this will just instantly brighten that area. And the cool thing about this corrector is that it doesn't look like you're wearing any makeup. It just looks like your skin is bright naturally. Like it kind of melts into the skin and you can't really see it. So I'm just going to put this underneath the other eye as well. I kind of like to push it into the skin and then I'll kind of blend it out. Then what I'll do is I'll take a little bit more product on my brush and I will go ahead and brighten other areas of my face that have a bit of darkness. So I get shadows right here naturally. This whole area right here is a little bit darker. So I like to take this brush and kind of dab product all in this area. And then I will blend it out, especially around my nose also. And then if I have any like redness scars over here, I'll kind of like take my brush and go over those areas. I didn't take any extra product on my brush to cover up any of the redness anywhere. I just kind of, whatever's left on the brush I'm going to take. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my beauty blender and then kind of just run over all of my skin. Just to make sure that everything is really pushed into the skin and you won't be able to see it laying on top. Because I want this look to be extremely, extremely natural. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a drop of the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Concealer in the shade Medium Light Neutral. And what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to take one swipe, and just two tiny little ones right there. And I have a little bit of redness right here in between my brows right now. I'm going to put a couple dots right there. And then I'm going to take my Beauty Blender and I'm going to blend that all out. And I'm keeping the concealer really high and just underneath my eyes where I need it and right around my nose. The reason that I'm not using foundation today is because I feel like, especially if you're going to be going on a date and you know that you're going to be kissing the person that you are on a date with, you don't really want to have foundation all up in your mouth and lower face area. So I'm kind of just trying to keep the makeup on the top half of my face where it's probably not going to transfer anywhere. So then whatever is left on that Beauty Blender, I'm just going to take around the rest of my face. There shouldn't be very much product on it at all, but just to kind of even everything out, that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is fill in my brows, and I have a brow tutorial up where I use the two products that I'm using today actually. These are my drugstore eyebrow products. So this is the brow wax from Milani, and this is the new L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer. This is an eye pencil. It's very similar to the Anastasia Brow Wiz. So I am just going to fill them in like usual. Okay, so brows are on, and now I'm just gonna go ahead and add a little bit of warmth to the skin. So I'm gonna use a cream, and I'm using the Chanel Soleil Tan de Chanel, and it is just a cream bronzer that looks like this. I love this one. I know that it's pretty expensive, but I've had this for a year already, and I've barely made a dent into it. I just think that the color of this especially is so natural when it blends into the skin. It's incredible. So I'm just taking a little bit of that on a Morphe G8 brush. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start from just where I would normally put my bronzer, and I'm going to start buffing this into the skin. I'm also going to take a little bit just up on my temple. I'm literally taking it on the brush and blending it in as if it was a powder. So it's literally barely detectable, but it just adds a little bit more life back to the skin. And then for the highlight, I'm gonna go ahead and use the Benefit WhatsApp highlighter. I'm using all creams because they blend into the skin and they look the most natural. They don't lay on top of the skin like powders. So I'm just taking a little bit, this is a sample size one, I'm just taking a little bit on the top of my cheekbones with my ring. Actually, this is my middle finger, but any finger will do. But I'm just tapping that in. Just gonna add a really pretty natural glow to the skin. I'm gonna take it on this side as well. And just a little bit on the tip of my nose and the bridge of my nose. And then what I will do is I'll take my Beauty Blender again and push it into the skin. Okay, so now just for around the eye areas, I'm taking the banana color and this light pink shade from my Kat Von D contour kit, and I'm just going to set around my eyes so that they don't get creasy or weird. This powder also does a pretty good job of really melting into the skin, but I'm taking it literally just around this area. I'm not taking it up and back and around and whatever. I'm just taking it underneath the eye and onto the lid. I don't want to put this over where we just put the cream highlighter or anything like that. And then if you get oily around your nose, you can kind of take a little bit just on the sides as well. Now for the eyes, I think that mascara looks very pretty. So I'm just gonna go ahead and curl my lashes. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put a couple coats of my L'Oreal Telescopic mascara. I like the look of a lot of mascara. I think that it makes your eyes look very doll-like. And I think that that is adorable. So I'm going to be putting a couple coats on my top and lower lashes. Okay, so I'm gonna let my mascara dry and then I will go ahead and clean that up, but I'm gonna move on to lips. Now for lips, you can go with a couple of different options. It's all up to you, personal preference. You can use something like this. This is the IT Cosmetics Vitality Lip Flush, and what this does, it's just pretty much a clear lipstick, and I guess it works with the temperature of your body and kind of changes your lip color. So my lips turn a little bit of like a pink rose shade. So see, it just gave my lips a little bit of color, and it's cool because it won't transfer anywhere. It's just, it is what it is on your lips. You can also use some sort of lip oil. This one is by YSL, and it's just a clear lip oil, and it makes your lips look a little bit more glossy without being a sticky gloss or anything like that. It just gives that wet look to the lips. So that's really pretty as well. You could also do a lipstick or a liquid lipstick or another lip gloss. It's really all up to you. I personally also love these Intense Matte Lip and Cheek Pencils by Nude Stick. This one is in the color Kiss. It's such a natural pink color, and they really do stay on your lips. So that is what the color Kiss looks like. It's very similar to my natural lip color, and they're really comfortable on the lips. You don't really feel them, which is amazing. I love it. And if you needed to, it's pretty easy to just go ahead and dab off, whereas a liquid lipstick or something like that is much harder to remove from the lips. So the last thing that I'm going to do is just spray my face with a setting spray. This one is the Urban Decay Chill Makeup Setting Spray, and I'm just going to do a couple of sprays of that. And then that is it. This is the finished look. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Also, I do have a giveaway going on, so if you guys have not entered that yet, I will leave the link to that video in the description box below. But other than that, I think that that is all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.